Hello, we are going to talk about the evolution theories.
Lamarck started his scientific career as a botanist, but in 1793 he became one of the founding professors of the Musée Natural d'Histoire Naturelle, as an expert of invertebrates. His work on classifying worms, spiders, mollusks, and other boneless creatures was far ahead of his time. Lamarck was struck by the similarities of many of the animals he studied. It led him to argue that life was not fixed. When environment changed, organisms had to change their behavior to survive. If they began to use an organ more than they had in the past, it would increase in its lifetime. If a giraffe stretched its neck for leaves, for example, an airborne fluid would flow into its neck and make it longer. Its offspring would inherit the longer neck, and continued stretching would make it longer still over several generations. Meanwhile, organs that organisms stop using would shrink.
I'm going to talk about Charles Darwin's life. He was born in England in 1809. He came from a family of scientists, and from a young age, he was very interested in natural history. In 1831, he got a naturalist position in the HMS Beagle, a ship made for a 5-year trip around the world. In the expedition, he visited many different places and studied the variety of plants and animals. He also collected specimens for further analysis.
This made him suggest that species adapted over time and to their environment. His life wasn't all about studying, though. He married his first cousin Emma Wedgwood, and they had many children. 3 died, but 7 lived long lives. Darwin's theory. In his book On the Origin of Species, Darwin explains his theory of evolution by natural selection, which he developed after years of studying and traveling. This theory is also known as survival of the fittest, and it states that organisms suffer changes in order to adapt and survive in their environment, and the strongest who are able to adapt will be the ones who will have descendants. The process of changing a species slowly over time is called microevolution. Several generations are necessary to change a characteristic of a species.
When there are a lot of changes in a species, it can create another completely different from the original. This is known as macroevolution. There is another form of natural selection which depends on sexual attraction instead of the environment. For example, when a female chooses a male because of its horn. Genetics weren't known at Darwin's time. He didn't know how the evolution worked, so he studied only the changes on a species in a long time. Later in history, it was discovered the way genes are passed to other generations. The study of mutations in DNA began and many advances were made.
I'm going to talk to you about the difference between Lamarck and Darwin theories. I will start talking about Lamarck's theory. Lamarck thought that every single animal had the capacity to change its body in a short period of time when it was necessary to. He said that their muscles and organs would adapt and evolve to reach the perfection. For example, if a giraffe couldn't reach the highest leaf of a tree, he would extend his neck for reaching it. On the other hand, Darwin said that evolution was a process of hard and difficult changes in which a lot of species will die and some others will adapt. He said that the universe was in constant change of movement, and that living things that can't evolve will extinct. He got one sentence that explains it very well. During the process of evolution, the herbivores won't be the strongest or the most intelligent, would be the first in adapting to the climate.